Hi everybody, welcome back to my Christmas in the Country project, which is a design team project for Country Craft Creations, and we are making this mini album, and eventually we're going to be attaching this little wreath, but we're going to set that aside for now. We've finished the cover last time. All the matting is done. All that's left now is embellishing, making all the inserts. And I have cut side pocket inserts, but they're not completed. I've just tucked them in. I've got 2 burgundy and 2 of the linen, but we'll talk about that later. I have a couple of things to show you. Today we're gonna make some tags and maybe some other inserts. And I am using, none of this on this one is glued down, so I'm just lifting it up. These are the Graphic 45 tags. I am using them in the regular tags, which is what these are, the artist trading size, and the square tags. However, I understand that you may not have these tags. You may not have the die to mat these tags. You may have one but not another. Or, this just may not be within reach for you. I understand it can be expensive. The tags themselves are not terribly expensive, but the dies are a little pricey. Well worth the price if you can swing it, but it took me a long time to collect all the dies for these tags, so I get it. But that aside, sometimes you just want to make your own. So I'm going to show you a method for making just a basic round top tag, okay? And what I want you to do, and what you're going to need is 2 pieces of good sturdy cardstock, okay? And I want you to cut it whatever size you want, okay? And I recommend doing this in a number of different sizes, but this one is 3.5 by 5, and cut out 2 pieces, okay? And then I want you to draw a line straight down the middle, and then you're going to need to draw a line a certain distance down from the top, about as far down as you want your curve to begin. And where exactly it ends up depends on what you're going to use to draw the curve. And I used this piece of score tape, this reel of score tape, because it has to match side to side, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So my first guess was 3/4 of an inch down, and I made a mark here and here and drew a line. And then I took my score tape and I wanted it to match on both sides at that line, and if you look, you'll see it's above the top of the paper, so that wasn't going to work. So I added 1/4 inch, and now this line is 1 inch down from the top, and then I was able to lay my score tape down, have it intersecting on each side, and then I just drew an arc, okay? And then I measured down from the top, let me show you, to just about where I think I want my grommet to go. Or it's probably, it doesn't have to be a grommet. You can use just an office supply store hole reinforcement there, okay? Whatever it is you're going to end up using. And I'm going to take my Crocodile, you can use your office supply hole punch, whatever you have, and punch a hole where you've made that mark. Trying not to catch your fingers in there, okay? All right, so now we have this. And now I'm going to cut this curve. I think I will use my larger scissors for that. These are just inexpensive office supply scissors. Got them at Staples, I think. And I'm sorry, I'm lifting this near to me so that I can see. And I know I've mentioned my poor eyesight on more than one occasion, so there we go. Okay, so now we have a nice little tag, right? We are not going to mat this this particular tag. This is a template, okay? So I want you to make this and save it. and make these in however many sizes you want. Make square one, make a long skinny one, make little short ones, whatever sizes you want. Okay, so we'll call this, what did I say? Well, it was 3.5, but now it's a different height, of course, because we've trimmed it. So 3.5 by, it's actually a little over 4 3/4, but we'll call it 4 3/4. So 3.5 by 4 3/4 tag. Okay, now let's take our other piece, okay, and it is, let's just lay this one on top of it, and we're going to trace the curve and the circle. Okay, we're not going to cut this out. Actually, we don't even need that circle. Ignore that circle. Hang on. We do need the curve, but we don't need the circle. Okay, and what we're going to do is we need to cut this a little bit smaller, right? So what we're going to do is cut 1/8 of an inch off each side and 1/8 of an inch off the bottom. Okay, so 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and then we'll worry about the curve after that. Now I cut mine 1/8 because I wanted that much to show. You know, I want that much reveal between my my decorative paper and the background. If you like it smaller, then cut like 1/16 off each side. The microphone back on. Okay, so let's cut this curve, and then we will decide where we're going to cut, you know, how we're going to do the rest. Okay, so go ahead and cut. The curve. Okay, so now when we lay this down, it looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is cut another 1/8 inch off of this bottom. We're just checking it for fit. So when you go to cut yours, cut it 1/8 inch here, 1/8 inch here, and 1/4 inch off the bottom. Okay. Okay. And that looks good. So that's going to be your mat. So go ahead and mark this one. 3.5 by 4 3/4 tag mat. All right. Now you're going to lay this one on top of this one, right where you want it. Tape it if you need to. Turn it over. And you can draw a mark. You don't actually have to cut this when you cut the mat, the hole, because you can do that after. Like you could mat it and then cut it, punch the hole through both layers. All right, so let me set that aside. All right, and this just happens to be a size because I had some 3.5 inch scraps, so that's the size I made this little tag. Okay, but let me show you now. Let's make one using our new template. So let me grab a scrap. I brought this over so you could see what I'm working from. I actually have this box side here, and let me get the album out of the way. Hang on. All right, so let's grab this piece. Looks big enough, so let's grab that to start. And actually, it's actually bigger than I really need. Let's use this one maybe. And what should we like? Maybe we'll use that to mat it. Okay, put that off to the side. So now we have, this is our template, and the reason we're using it as a template, and that happens to be almost exactly the right size, is so that, you know, the next album you'll have to do that again. You have the pattern all made. Okay, so let's draw our arc and make mark for the, and of course, just because we made a mark there, you could make it, you know, elsewhere depending on your design aesthetic, or not at all. And of course, you don't have to make the top of your tags arched. I just wanted to show you this particular method. Let me turn this around. You could round these, you could use your scallop cutter, you could do whatever you want. You could just cut an angle on each corner, however you want to make your tags, but this will give you a nice little tag that you can use over and over and over again. So there's our tag base, here's our template, we don't want to lose it, and then we're going to cut the mat, if this piece is big enough, and it is, out of this piece. All right, well, the fact that these are both exactly the right size was an absolute accident. I literally reached into my scrap bin and pulled these out. Okay, so trace our mat. And just get yourself an envelope or something. Clip the, you know, the mat to the tag template, and then put them in an envelope and set them aside, and then whenever you need one, just pull it out. And then if you have a Big Shot or some other die cutting machine but don't happen to have the dies, the Graphic 45 dies, there's all kinds of tag shaped dies you could get to make your own tags. I have some in that little box I just showed you. I don't know if I'm going to use them, but I have them somewhere. Well, they're around. If I think of it, I'll show them to you. Okay, so now we have, here's our mat and our tag. We don't want to lose them, so we'll clip them together so I can use them again on another project or later in this project. And we have that, but I am going to turn it over and put it on this side. That way I can see the hole that I marked. And what I think I'll do on this is round the bottoms. Just a 1/4 inch. Just to give it a little bit more finished look. Okay. And ink this. I'm using Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. The cardstock is linen from the colorist Linen, and it is artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations, of course, and the paper line is Christmas in the Country by Frank Garcia for Prima Marketing, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so we're just going to glue that down. I just wanted to show you that you don't have to have the exact, you don't have to have the Graphic 45 cards. They're awesome if you have them, the tags, and the dies. I love them. They're well worth the price. But if you don't have them, you don't need them. Okay. I'm kind of tempted to do a video about what, in my opinion, which of course is just my opinion, you need for making mini albums. Because, okay, well, I don't know if I put that on too straight, but it looks good. I think sometimes, you feel like you need all these things, and you don't really. A lot of things can be made. Most, you can do a lot with just a very few basic tools. A ruler, a pencil, scissors, an office hole punch. And as a matter of fact, if I can find my office hole punch, let's use it. Okay. I don't know how much this thing costs, but probably about $5 at the office supply store. And let us there we go. There's the hole. And now let's put a reinforcement there. Let me grab one. I don't think I centered that very well. I just dyed, these are just plain old white office reinforcements, so if I think of it, I'll link them down below. And I just dye them by taking my inks and just rubbing them, and that does the trick. I want that color. I kind of like these gray ones, grayish blue ones. Let's use one of those or two of those. Okay. And doing them that way gives them kind of a nice hand-dyed variegated sort of look. Okay, so put one there. Let's turn this over. Shall we use the same color on the back, or do we want to use the kind of beigey? Let's use that one on the back. And of course, you can mat the back if you want. Okay, there we go. There is a nice little tag made with no fancy tools, just the basics. Okay, I really like it, and eventually we'll add a tie and maybe some other decoration. All right, so let me set that aside. Oh, my trash is getting so full. Okay, put these away. And again, I'm using 3 different sizes of tags right now. Well, 4 now that I made that one. The regular, the square, and the little ones, the artist trading size. So just go ahead if you want to make similar sizes and just make your templates for a couple of different sizes. Okay. And actually, I'm probably going to make, I've got a place where I need a bigger tag, and I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do, but we may make another one, a larger one. But I'm going to set that aside for now. These I'll show you in a minute, but the artist trading, the little what are these, 3x4 cards, right, are the perfect size for cutting the mats for the artist trading size. And I've already done that, which I'll show you in a minute. And then the 4x6s work very well for this size tag. Mostly I used paper, but this was one of the 4x6 journaling cards. And one of the others was, this one was. But most of those were actually horizontal, and I wanted vertical, so I just used pattern paper. Okay, so let me show you what I have here. I pulled out some of my ephemera, which you can see here, and just some paper scraps, a couple of little flowers, which we may add some more. Here's a little ephemera deer. This is one of the chipboards. This is just a scrap of paper. This is a scrap of paper which I've torn, and I may still tear this one. And this is a piece of, I don't know what you call it. It's Tim Holtz collage paper, he calls it. And this is not a Christmas design. It's the only one I have, so it's what I'm using. You could use just a piece of vellum. You could even print something on a piece of vellum, or you could use a napkin, something like that. And I just tore this, and I think I'm gonna try and decide exactly. I haven't decided precisely where I'm gonna put it. I like that ragged edge showing, so we could put it there. I've been playing with placements. Put this underneath. I think I like this better on top. I don't like it centered though. These kind of things, I don't like to center everything. So I actually maybe end up having that further over, like that. Maybe. Kind of had it laid out about how I wanted it, and then the deer here, peace and joy up there, a couple of flowers. All right, let's kind of go with that. I need to ink. Okay. I go kind of heavy on the ink where I tore it. And you know what I just thought of? I wonder if I want to add, I was thinking somewhere I had some thin Christmassy ribbon or trim. Well, I've got this. This is I've already got the twine out. Let me just pull out a couple other things just in case, and just pile those there just so I don't forget I've got them. And I've got this twine. And I've got these little gold snowflake things and stars. Do we want... I haven't actually used twine anywhere else. I mean, I've used baker's twine, but this is actual twine. If I could find the end, it would be all set. Well, I'm just going to cut it. Okay. There we go. We want to use some of this too. Maybe down near where I'm going to put the deer and the flowers. Just going to cut that because I think we're probably are going to do something with that. Okay, so let's hang on to that. And let us hang on. Let's see what I have. Don't be horrified that I'm using this piece of cardstock. It's kind of an inexpensive. It's not my good artisan, it's something I just had in my stash. Okay. Set that aside in case we want to use it again. Okay, so put that there. And then we're going to, you know what, I'm just going to, this is looking, even though I did tear that side, I did it against a ruler, and it's a little neat. I think I want to rough it up a little. Do that, that's better. And then we're going to put that there. Okay, I think we can just go ahead and do that. And you could use, you know, Mod Podge or matte medium or whatever you want to use, but I'm not going to fuss over this too much. I'm just going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue. I don't care if the edges are a little loose. It's not meant to look perfect. And we're just going to lay that down right about there. Okay. There. Okay. And then we're going to put this one down. Oh, I like that side. Wait a minute. Do we want to? No, we don't want to use that side because we're going to put that on top. Okay. And let's put that there. Okay. There we go. And then we have this, and trying to decide if I want to tear this or put it on as is. I think I'll put it on as is, but I'm going to round the corners with a 1/4 inch. And you could put this down, you know, you could have only glued a little bit of it and made it like a tuck spot, but I'm just doing it like this. Okay. There's that. Okay. And then we have this little deer, and he's got a little rough spot in his foot there, which I'm tempted, there's an awful lot of white around this deer. I'm kind of tempted to cut some, but let's just ink and see. I'm just going to ink it, try to knock back some of that white. Okay, it doesn't look quite so stark. That's better. And let's see, this is going to go up here. So I think we could go ahead and put that down. And this does have adhesive on the back, but I'm using my art glitter glue. And that's one of the chipboards, in case you can't, I didn't say and you can't tell, that's what that is. Okay. And then let's play with this twine. Kind of looping it around a little bit. I think that's kind of too neat. Let's see. Do something like that, and then put this guy on top. I think we do. And I think what I'm going to do is glue would be the way to go here, but I don't know as it would hold quickly enough. I'm just going to put a piece of tape. I'm probably going to have to redo that. Let me get a piece of tape handy, because we're going to cover it up anyway, that center section. So let's just get ourselves a piece of tape, just a piece of score tape, and let's play with that again. Angle it and just tuck that there like that for the moment, because this is going to go here and then these flowers are going to go, so that you won't see that tape, but that'll hold that twine while we get the rest of this stuff down. Let's go ahead and put the deer down. And of course, I'm just using what I have. You can use whatever you have. Okay, so let's put that there, and that twine gives a little dimension. We'll trim some of this extra off maybe, or we may just glue it down a little bit with some art glitter glue under there. And I think I'm gonna just pull off the backing of this tape. There we go. And let's put that one there. course that's sticking not just with the glue, but that's sticking to that tape. And then we'll put this one here, maybe, or here. No, I think I like it there because I have another little flower I think I might put there. I just need to go grab it. Okay, let's put that there. All right, that looks good. And let's see, do we want to use a couple of these little stars? I think we do. No, that was way too much glue for such a tiny little star. Whoops. There's one. And let's use this one. And let's see, I'm looking to see. And when you're dealing with something this small, you can use your tweezers to lay them down. Okay. And how about a little one? That one there. Okay. And let me grab that other little flower I was thinking of. Okay, you may remember these. I used these in, I've used them in several albums, I think. I really like them. And I notice my deer's little foot is coming up here. Let's see if we can't glue that down. Okay. Grab one of these. Let's see. Whoop. Yeah, that looks good. Let's put that there. Okay. And trim that. Let's trim that. And I have the little say it with crystals. We might want to use a couple of these. I like them. I'm just not sure which ones I want to use. Little red ones doesn't show up very well. Whoops. It was almost going to be there anyway. They're sticky backed, so. Let's see what a green one looks like. Or, oh, that's pretty. I like the green one. So let's see. Green one. I don't know, are we just gilding the lily here? I do like that little green one though. And maybe another one. I don't like that there. I don't like it's too close to the deer. Let's see if we can get that up. Adding a little sparkle. They're not necessary, but I like them, so I think I'll use them. Okay. glitter glue down. And we're going to put that one right there. Whoops. Okay, there it is. Put that one there. And that one's going to go there. Okay, there's that. Looking good. I might end up matting the back of it just to give it a little more body, although it's, I mean, these are pretty sturdy tags. Let's see. All right, let me set those aside. And these, because we'll use those again, I'm sure. What you doing, Holly? Hi. It's my other kitty, who does not usually make camera appearances, unlike Jolly, is in here playing and looking in boxes. Oh, we found the ribbons. Okay, well, that could be a problem. Okay, what else do we want, if anything? Do we want some of these little dots? That might be pretty. Let's just put a couple. I know this is probably just way over the top. I'm just tucking these down in here. Just a couple. And let's put a couple here. I'm just putting these down in little clusters of 3. Like that. Not as neat as they might be, but they look fine. Okay. I like that a lot. I don't think I'm going to add anything else. Although I feel like I have those 3 here and those 3 there. I should put another 3 there. Okay, let's do that. I don't even know where in the book this tag is going to go. Did that very messily. But I don't care. Okay, there we go. All right, now I don't want to touch this for a little bit because all those little gold thingies have to dry. And then we'll add something to it. Now this one, what do we want to do for this one? Let's see if there's something we want to add. It's awfully pretty as is. It may just need a bow. Do like that. It's a possibility, huh? It's very soft. I kind of want to keep it soft. Could add some little flowers in one corner. We could add this little postcard and leave it loose like a little tuck spot to put something small. That's kind of nice. Let's see. Just playing with what we have here. this is pretty. It's got a little more color than the one that says postcard. That could go here. Kind of like that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make a little tuck spot on this, and then we could tuck the little postcard or something like that into it. 25 or one of these little guys. You could put that would be cute. Put a photo in it. Okay, let's do that. Let's ink the edge. All right. And we just want to do this. Okay. So I'm just triple checking where I'm going to put this glue. That's good enough. Do I want to go further? Not really. That's fine. Maybe a little more up the side. And then we're just going to tuck that right down here on this bottom left. Not all the way. Leave a little reveal of the mat. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And then I do like this bow. Tail here. Not sure though, because we're gonna tuck something. Let's choose that. Got our little Santa, just cute. But I kind of like the idea of one of these little postcards getting tucked in there like that. It's big enough that you can journal on it and then put a small photo on the back. Let's go ahead and ink this. And I'm going to grab that paper scrap that we had, and I'm just going to ink the whole back of this because it is too white. Just want to knock that back a little bit. Okay. My goodness, I don't know what that was. Hang on. She's okay. I don't know what she was doing, but sounded like she brought down a TV on herself. Okay. They will be 11 months old. Actually, they're just about 11 months old now. And still kittens. Okay. There's that. I like that, but not that one. So maybe we'll use that ribbon instead. Let me grab that. Alright, so there's that. And if we use this, the problem with this ribbon is it's single-sided. So when you loop it, you only see the front partially. So what would be our best bet? Gosh, that's pretty ribbon. I really like it. You know what we could do? We could do something of that nature so that we see the front. Let me just cut a length of it so we can play with it. Or we could just not worry about it. All right, let's just put it through the usual way and see what we get. This is stiffer than what I would normally use, which is seam binding, of course. let's do, okay, so another option. Let's put it through from the back. All right, put it through from the back. Don't need it to be quite that long. And then we're going to twist the one on the back and bring it up. That's how we're going to do it. Right? Let's make that about the length, a little longer than we want. Twist it and bring it up like that. And now we can tie something around it, which we will. I'm trying to decide if I want to staple it to keep it in place, because it'll be hidden anyway by whatever we tie around it. Or it might not even be hidden. We might not need to hide it. I am going to staple it because I don't want it to come out. I'm just going to trim that. I am using a Tim Holtz tiny attacher. Once again, if you don't have this particular tool, you could glue this, or you could just use a regular stapler. These are just little staples is all it is. And I am just going to go in here like this and give it one staple. I put the staple this way so that I could tie something around this and not run into the staple too much. Okay, so let's set that aside. Now, do we want to, we've got this, which is the gold baker's twine, the gold and white. But we also have red and white, and I have red, white, and green, which might be cute, kind of traditional looking. Like that. No. I like that, but we'll use that on a different tag. We might use that on the tag we just made, which is a little bit more country-ish. This one we could use this. We could also use the twine. We could use them both together, which I think is what I'm leaning towards. Sorry, I just realized I'm probably out of frame. Let me move that up there. And just thinking I have, where are they? Hang on. Somewhere I have little snowflakes. Here they are. Do we want to dangle a snowflake? That would be super pretty and cute. These are silver, but there's a lot of silver in that ribbon, so I think it'll be all right. If you have gold, it'd probably be better, but I don't have gold, I have silver. But I still like it. Yes, let's do that. And okay, so now let me untie this. And thread that on here. Excuse my head if it's in the camera. Pulling it towards myself. there. I think that if I want to add that differently, because it's not dangling as loosely as I would like. So let me just pull that off. We're still going to use it, but I'm going to add it differently. I'm going to tie this in a bow. Okay, let's leave that. That's cute. And let's see, we have these dangling down. That. Okay, I'm just fussing with that a little bit. Let's see, I think we want to add that there. And you know what I think I have that would do the trick is a garment pin. Hang on, let me look. Okay, whoops, I forgot my pin. I know I have them, but I cannot put my hands on them right now. So I did grab I've got a needle and thread. And I'm wondering if I could just attach it with a little thread or another piece of this little twine. Well, because what I'd like to do is get it underneath this loop, which of course I should have done before I stapled it. Let's see. Okay, so I have managed to thread this twine onto this needle. Pull it through. Okay, that'll work. And then we will, at least we hope it will work. We actually want it to end up pretty high up. Let's see. And I wish I could find the garment pins because they would be perfect for this, but I just don't know what I've done with them. Let's see if that would work for us. That's not bad. And it's loose enough that when I find the garment pins, as I eventually will, I could just cut it off and re-put it with the pin. All right, and then I'm going to turn this a little bit and try and get that knot tucked up under the top. All right. And we still have pretty long tails that we want to trim, I think. Well, that was a bit of a fuss trying to get that snowflake on, but I like it. All right, where's our postcard? Here it is. Let's tuck that on. Bit of an angle, a little more. That's cute. Okay. This one, those little dots are probably not quite dry, but so we have 2 of our fancy tags done. Well, we didn't get too much. That took us quite a while, but they're cute. Okay. All right, I'm going to continue working off camera. I just wanted to do a couple to give you an idea, and I will show you the rest of them, of course, and review how I've done them, but you get the idea of what to do. Some of them I'm just going to leave plain and just add a bow, or maybe at the most a little, I don't know, maybe a few little crystals or something, but I did want to do a couple of fancy ones, and these are the regular size. Well, this is the regular size. This is the one we made our own template for, and I think it looks really nice.